A few years ago, I found myself face to face with a rough choice. I had spent my career freelancing, making all sorts of media for all sorts of companies. And now I found myself working with a fast-growing young stallion of a company, a brand chomping at the bits, ready for adventure. And here came the choice. There was the possibility, if I let myself get drawn in, to perhaps saddle up and take off into the horizon together with these guys. But there was a problem. A little ewe lamb I'd been nourishing already for a few years. A little bundle of wool. A beanie company I had dragged along behind my career for years already. I was not ready to leave it. I stood there in the golden light, my little lamb by my side, watching the stallion ride into the sunset. A ridiculous metaphor for a ridiculous choice. And I wondered why it always was like this. Anytime I had a chance for more permanent work with the customer, I would draw out of it. I looked down at the little woolly creature. It was obvious. I had a drive to start something of my own. Something that awoke each time I perceived prison bars materializing in the form of a permanent job. But why then did I keep failing with my own business? That period of life, I was left in limbo. I had left yet another opportunity, and my own company was still a side project. When I went back to the drawing board and began working harder than ever, something began taking shape in front of my eyes. A pattern. Freelancing for others gives you the opportunity to fall back on their ownership. You can suggest various strategies, even argument at length if you're in your expertise, but the end responsibility falls with the owner. So there is something to hide behind. Was there anything I hid behind in my own project? Well, it was right there. Calling it a side project. I should have seen it. Well, it's not my job, it's my side project. Low expectations, low fall. And this time, as I went back to freelancing harder than ever before, serving customers to the best of my ability, and building up an economy to allow my own company to flourish, I also had to fix a broken mindset. I knew I had to dare to be seen trying. Maybe not to anyone else than myself and my wife, but even the first of those is hard to please. I shed the name of side project. I would not utter those words again. It was 80-20 there for a while, freelancing and building my beanie company, but with those 20% I was really trying, with all I had, trying to make the right decision for growth and fiscal health, trying to use my limited resources right, trying to communicate as clearly as I could on every snippet of video. The main point, I was trying. So they always tell you, you should keep talking, just keep talking to keep people's attention. But you know what I actually want to do? Now I want to test you, see if you're gonna go. Are you gonna go? Are you gonna leave this video as I eat this delicious little piece of dates with licorice powder? Are you gonna leave now? Before you leave, give me a like and subscribe. Maybe the next video is better than this one. And leave me a nice comment or a bad comment. Okay, now everybody has left that don't care a lot about this. At some point, when writing the book about my company, now after 10 years, having reached a healthy stability all across the board, I look back seeing the pattern clearly. You cannot build anything without daring to be seen trying, at least to yourself. The comfort of claiming you just gave it a quick try. It's just a side project. I just dabble. We all do it on some level, and the reason is simple. The fall is so much higher if you really tried before you failed. Being a constant dabbler is easier. Dragging that poor little sheep behind you until it falls to the ground and is bruised and battered. Recently, I bought a sketchbook and a bird book. I wanted some hobby that did not relate to work. So I bought the book and I have drawn a few birds. It's so hard to finish a bird, look at it and admit to myself, this is really the peak of my ability. I could not have done any better than this. This is it, but right there is the key. To leave it as is, the best you could, and then go and do it over again. Over and over again, each time doing your best. And as long as you keep at it, there might come a day where you realize you reached proficiency. And when you turn around, you will truly see how hopelessly lackluster your first wholehearted efforts were. But it won't bother you. You look at it with compassion. Compassion for the person that dared jump into the arena, rather than sit cheering or jeering on the tribunes, and put their gifts on the table, no matter how unimpressive they were. I, for one, am back. After having stabilized the company as it is, I return my focus to this channel and I plan to grow it. This is not a side project, I'm really trying this time. And to be seen trying and failing does not bother me anymore. Just kidding, of course it bothers me, but such is the cost of creating anything. Vet du hvor min bok er? Den med teip over titlen. Hello, hello. Hey. Sorry, I just went to find this. Here's my book, 2026. On our 10-year anniversary, it will come out. It's about the act of building this company. Here's the quick pitch from the backside. This story will take you through Norwegian knitting and war history. Pass through both mountains and fjords. Dive into the roots of the red hat as a symbol of adventure. And take you along for the struggle it takes to build a brand from nothing. On an unquenchable faith that it will all work out. So that's the short pitch. Yeah. There's links below for this if you're perhaps interested. There's also a link to buy a hand-knit Norwegian wool beanies. And then you can like and subscribe this video. What the heck am I saying? This is the automated mind that takes over. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and leave me a comment. Tell me that you liked it. I love to hear that, of course, obviously, because I really tried.